quick update to everybody. We had several different business meetings in Vegas all weekend, which went really well. Dr. Ram and Clayton were doing some podcasts with different people over there that they had met, and then we had some other meetings. We went to a um, documentary for a movie launch that Root helped produce as well, which was exciting. But a lot of cool things. It is hard doing a lot of different flights in a 3-day span. And Clayton and Christina had done 4 or 5. I just did 3, so they had it much worse than me. And then Marty was busy Thursday. He worked an event at a bartender bash, actually, where he was trying to talk with people about clean spirits and the effect it could have um, on like bar communities, and especially just as a way to make sure people are living healthier. So he had a great time with that on Thursday. So our team was very busy the last couple days. Um, I will start with a couple of updates, and Marty might have some additional things to give updates on it. But we had put this out there. Our emails are currently down. We're working on it. It's not on our end, it's the provider we use. We're hoping to get that up and fixed. If it's not, then we'll have an alternative by the end of the week so that we'll make sure emails go out. Um, no. So customer service, our emails work. So you can reach out to customer service and all of us. This is the emails that we send out for like weekend reports, uh,
New products.
new products, the notifications like that. So just in case people ask or notice that, we do know it's going on. Marty's been working with our account manager to get that fixed. But if it doesn't, we'll find a new processor. We've told them to get those out by the end of this week. Um, Other updates, just a reminder for those that didn't see it, which is also what our focus and talk is today. The 0 and 15 pack is live and it is on the sites. Also, the remediation of the land, air, and water book by Dr. Ram is also out. It is only in English right now. A lot of that is because it is basically a beginning form of a dissertation she wrote. And so it has been causing some issues with the translation. We will get that out eventually, but the focus was just getting out that English book at first. So that is out and live. It's really interesting. Just a reminder for those, it is not a light read. I've already had a couple people reach out and say they were having tough times understanding it. It is an insight into Dr. Ram's mind when she is creating thesis, dissertations, and product research.
It's
So,
basically a PhD thesis on environmental remediation. So,
so we're giving everyone's a heads up. When you buy it, it is like you probably will take some notes. It's not quite the same as, the normal Cure the Cause series books. So yeah, that was all I had. Marty, do you have any updates? And then otherwise, we'll get started with Clayton's training.
No, I don't have any. I think I mentioned most in the video. The week, if you missed out anything, you can check out our the weekend report video that we put out there too. There's some information there. But yes, the same thing you just talked about. Emails are down. Clayton's back in town, which is great. Um, and he looks fantastic on only 2 hours of sleep. So look, everything is going really well.
I do have a couple extra ones actually. US event is happening September 5th and 6th. Those invites have been sent out. Please let us know if you're in the US and you didn't get that, and we'll get you a copy. And then the European tour dates had been announced, so that is out and live. We were supposed to have a video that was announcing it that went out this weekend, and I just realized that would not have gone out because our emails are down. So Marty, we need to make sure we get that video and post it in the ambassador channels so that our European community has that.
Got it.
If you're in the US, you already saw that Clayton also made a US invite, kind of just a launch excitement video, but we also made one for the EU tour. So we will get that out to you all. And that is what I have. Any questions before I hand it off to the mad genius over there with his glasses on?
Who's that?
That's you. You got
Oh,
fancy glasses on.
I do. I think I stole them from mom.
That would make sense.
Mine cost $3 each, and she says I shouldn't wear those because they're not fashionable, but they're functional. Is it
Yeah,
time? Do we get to have some fun now?
yeah, I'm gonna pin you.
Oh, yes. You know what?
And
I never got pinned in high school or college, so it's nice to be pinned now.
yeah, now
No one
you're
no one ever chose me until I met this woman on the phone, and then she still didn't choose me. I had to wear her down, like fine sandpaper. So as Duquesne was talking about, this book honestly is something that as he mentioned is a detailed read, but in order to get an understanding of truly what we're about, this is actually a big part of the foundation of everything that we're built upon, right? Because when we talk about, she's talking about in the book remediation of the land, air, and water. Do you know why this came 5 years after we started Root? Because the first thing we had to do was show people how to remediate the human body. Because the most important environment is your own.
well, I want to start with a question for the community about this zero in before you get started, Clayton. I'm curious, raise your hand or put in the chat if you have successfully sold zero in or shared zero in
Better
with
word.
somebody under 30 years old.
Oh,
Under 30 years old. Has anybody here successfully shared zero in with them where they went and purchased it? Not you, Marty.
did
I see
raise their,
hands raised.
there's Chris.
Bianca, and that's actually who I wanted to raise the hand, so that works perfect. Bianca, would you unmute and just quickly share how you shared it?
Only
What
if you're
worked
on
for you?
video, though. You have to turn your video on because I don't care where you are and what you look like. You're not allowed to talk in the dark.
Give me a sec. I'm not home. Um, how do I put it on here on the phone? I'm usually never on the phone. Give me a sec, guys.
And this
Oh,
is just, I want you all to know that this is important because this is one of the ways that this new zero impact will open up
massive.
basically a whole new market for you. And so I wanted to ask this for a very specific reason.
You're up.
Okay, how how did I share it? It really depends on the person. I mean, someone I know has ADHD and he's been dealing with that all his life. So that was like how I went into it. Um, I think a lot of, I'll be really honest, I think a lot of young people more and more are having less and less energy really young. Like, I mean, in their 20s, they're just super low on energy, not able to concentrate. They have brain fog, all these things that like just make absolutely no sense. So I find oftentimes that's what I'll talk about. And people are in. I mean, as soon as you tell them you want energy, like when you were a kid, try this. Get back to me after it just did. Yeah.
I want to, Bianca, what do most people, and I'll say our age, what are they intaking instead of zero in? What are they using to clear their
Oh my
brain?
God.
It's not working, but I want people to realize the truth. What are they using instead of zero in initially?
Energy drinks, man. Energy
Mm-hmm.
drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
And I want people, this is why I wanted to bring it up. I think that's a different world for a lot of people on here who are in health and wellness kind of, groups and friend groups and communities. The generation under 35 probably is drinking 2 to 3 energy drinks a day sometimes, if not more. It is crazy. And so I want people to realize zero in has a lot of benefits, and especially when you talk about zero or the serotonin and dopamine effects. But a lot of people who are under 30 will try it just because they want to clear their brain fog and want a different way of energy because energy drinks aren't working for them. And so Bianca ended up saying exactly how I pitch it to those people, which is great. She read my mind. And so I want people to realize that before Clayton talks about how to kind of market this zero in because the serotonin and dopamine is amazing. And it is true. It doesn't always work with people, especially if they are in a space where they don't care about that. If they're in a space where really all they want is a better way to get energy, sometimes just focusing on the energy and brain fog and getting into the deeper science later works. And then later on you can tell them about all that. But just letting them know it's a cleaner source works amazing a lot of times. And so I want to give you all a quick pitch that I do, and then I will hand this over to Clayton. Um, and this is what Dylan and Marty do as well at a lot of the gaming events we go to. Crap. No, I should not do that. I forgot that we share this online. I was going to show a competitor, but maybe that's not the best idea. Um, if you all know what Celsius is, it's a big energy drink in the US, and it says it's clean energy.
And it's garbage.
If you look at the back plate, you will see it. But the big thing that is popular in Celsius is it has L-theanine in it. And people are now obsessed in the US with L-theanine. Do you know what also has that in it? Zero in.
In
Do
the
you know
right
what is
amount?
now cheaper than a pack of Celsius? The
Zero.
zero in 15 packs. And so I just want people to know that that is a great space that I have been using to pitch these zero in 15 packs. Dylan and Marty sold out of zero in the last two events they worked. They were at gaming events. All they talked about is, hey, this is cleaner energy and focus for you that you can read all the ingredients, and it is a much better replacement for energy drinks. They hardly got into any of the other science. What happened was after that event, a week or two later, it worked so well for people that they then reached out and said, hey, give me the science. Then they were interested on it. But all they said is, look, it's cleaner energy. It has no added sugar to it. What else are you going to find on the market that has that? And nothing else. So I just wanted to pitch that because that works really well with the younger generation. And the younger generation isn't always here for a ton of science, which is not good on my generation. I apologize to you all. But
They don't care.
yeah,
Guess what? People don't care.
we should. We just don't know better.
Well, we've
Um,
also pushed it, Duquesne, we've also pushed it with the younger people because there's this epidemic of young people labeling themselves as depressed. They label themselves as depressed. They haven't been clinically told they're depressed, but they label, I'm depressed. I have
What does that,
anxiety.
Marty, what does that mean to be depressed? How would you define that of the feelings of what someone says when they are depressed?
I
Because
think
I
it's
usually,
called laziness, is my thing, lack of energy. Right. And so when they have lack of energy, they go, boy, I'm just depressed. I don't want to get up and do
well,
anything. It's not
I think
depressed.
I think you all are being too hard on my generation.
No,
I
no,
would
no, not
say,
you.
well, no, no, I know, but I don't think it's laziness. I think it's the fact that society raised us thinking you had to have a screen up in your face
There you
and
go.
everything was supposed to be right there in front of you, and that if you're not always stimulated by outside things, then something's wrong with you. So I would say that the older generation failed us, but that's a whole nother conversation we can have later.
you know what? I think we've
I
been
think he's
poorly
right, though.
programmed. I think we got hacked.
Uh-huh. I think my generation, by the world out there, and it's not every adult, but we were set up to be separated from others. We were forced into a lockdown. We were had a screen put in front of our face. And so now when we don't have constant stimulation, we think we're depressed, but really it's because we're living a normal life, but we don't know any better. And so our dopamine levels are all messed up and we don't know how to function without a phone in our face that's stimulating our brain. But I will also
Right.
say my generation doesn't want to hear that that's the cause because we don't we don't listen. But I just want to throw out there, I don't know if it's laziness. I think we were almost programmed to be raised with a phone, TV, computer in front of our face. And now we are hurting as a generation because of it.
You know
So,
what? I think you're right. I'm gonna go with I think you're right because that we talk about that at the gaming event. If we tell them that if they don't have their phones, they don't aren't playing video games, if they aren't creating like synthetic dopamine and serotonin through those devices and they aren't allowed to do that, that's when they get upset. That's when they get down. That's when their energy's lost. That's one of the things we sold them at the shows.
oh, now, Clayton, how talk about why this 15 pack is so special and how people can use this to we went off on our tangent that was unintended, but it was a good one.
Went
But
off on
Clayton, how can you use these 15 packs to grow as ambassadors?
Good God, that was not a tangent. That was a foundation for what everybody can function on. Okay, we're gonna play a little game, right? And I'm gonna call this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Now, here's the craziest part. Over the last 5.5 years, I think we're at about everybody can measure what it means to be a millionaire in different ways, but a lot of people want to be a millionaire. I was beyond money about 20 years ago. But here's the thing. There's a couple ways to measure that. You can look at it as income of how much earnings you've had. You can look at it as savings of how much you actually have accumulated and maintain in assets. You can look at it as a recurring, regenerating revenue source that allows you to have the income that you would receive from having $1 million in a bank at 4 to 5%, 8%. So what they typically say is if you're making $45,000 a year on a residual basis, that's $1 million income stream. So I'm gonna back everybody into that philosophy in a little bit based on what we're going to talk about. But if you heard anything that Duquesne and Marty and Bianca have gone over, I'm going to start tying some things together. Because as most of you have heard, I hate the term wellness, even though it's in the name Root Wellness, because we had to create a foundation for people to understand. We are not made to be well. You are not made to do well. If we're talking sports, you don't really care who played well, who had a good game. We talk about who had a great game. We talk about who's the greatest, right? You are created in the image of greatness. I don't care what book you want to read from theologically, it all says the same thing. You're created in the image of greatness. We are all light. Therefore, you're supposed to shine bright. This is it. This is the entire premise. That's what we do, right? So if you're talking to your friends and go, what do you do? Well, we'll make you shine bright like a diamond. And there's music that you can quote on that. It's great. You can play your own little soundtrack. And how do we know these things? You can go on Spotify and listen to the podcast on Deep Dive with Blake and Amy that they've actually verified this from looking at real clinical data that shows we do this with Clean Slate and Zero In. So how do you explain Zero In simply? Listen to what I'm going to walk you through and get comfortable in talking about this, because I'm going to give you the pathway of what I explain to people that explains everything that we do. We all understand the gut-brain connection, right? Your gut is connected to your brain. Your gut connects to your gut, your heart, your pineal gland, and your brain, all through your vagus nerve. So that's the communication pathway that goes between those. We're not going to talk science on the human body and the mechanisms and IL-2, IL-4, P450, pineal gland function, lymphatic system. All of that's off the table. This is the most dynamic vehicle ever created. You ever drive a car? Yes. unless you're Jayla or false. So there's that. So if this is a vehicle, your gut is the engine, right? Your gut is the engine that runs this entire vehicle. What does that mean as it pertains to bodily function? Well, your gut is what produces the neurotransmitters and most of the hormones that the rest of your system needs to run. So when we look at real function, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, but primarily dopamine and serotonin, right? Your gut produces those. Now, your vagus nerve communicates those to your heart, to your pineal gland, and to your brain. So your brain is basically your dashboard, the steering wheel, all of the electronics that take the information and the feedback from the engine that allows the vehicle to perform, right? Your intention, your soul, your spirit, and what drives your brain and controls your engine is what's going to dictate, just like the gas and the brakes on your car, what kind of performance you want. Do you put gas in your car? Do you know? If you have, because you guys are not a 1972 Yugo. Each of you is a brand new Pagani or a Formula One McLaren. We are each the most advanced vehicle ever created. We're a quantum computing system that has been so intelligently designed, we have no comprehension of what we truly are. Oh, Wendy pulls off the check engine light. There we go. How about that? So you have the most dynamic engine ever created, the most advanced electronics and control system to drive this amazing vehicle that's ever been created. You have a driver that is unique, that has a certain set of skills for that vehicle. That's your soul. You are so innately special to understand that you are each an imperfect piece to a perfect puzzle. And it's your imperfections that make you perfect, because that's what makes you unique. So you have this amazing vehicle, but you know what you forgot to do, or maybe someone hasn't told you yet? You didn't know where the fuel source was. Because you can have the engine, you can have all the electronics, you can have the driver, you put the driver in the car, you're like, I'm ready to go. And you've got a 1/16 of a tank of gas. So every once in a while you get a spurt, you feel kind of good, and then you sputter. And you're like, oh, I don't feel very good. I'm depressed. I don't have the energy. Well, guess what? What is that energy source? What is the motivation? What gets rid of depression and all those feelings? What improves function, focus, the drive, the performance? Some people would call it a performance enhancing drug. Well, that happens to be dopamine and serotonin. We're talking about the most high octane gas, the 114 octane that they put in performance cars. Say hello to your fuel source. Now, the question then becomes, how much gas do you want? And when you put gas in the gas tank, if you're driving your car, does it always stay full? Or when you're driving your car, do you use gas and you actually have a sensor and a monitor in your vehicle that shows you how much fuel you have in your gas tank to run your engine? I think you do. I know I do. And have you learned that as you drive your vehicle, as that sensor goes down and as you use your gasoline, because neurotransmitters are used regardless of what you're doing. You could be doing sports. You could be trying to write an article or a book. You could be trying to sleep. You could be taking care of your kids. Women, you could be taking care of your kids. You could be taking care of your spouse because God knows we need care just the same as our kids do. All of these things are using dopamine and serotonin in your brain, which is causing your gut to produce more, which is controlled by your intention. But anything that you're doing throughout the day are using those fuel sources to run what you need. And they will be depleted based on your behavior, your mindset, and your activity. So when are you going to fill up your gas tank? Very good thing to do it in the morning. Depending upon what you're doing, you might need a little more gas in the afternoon. And as you become an amazing driver, here's the thing. You know what we proved 5.5 years ago? And Christina and I didn't even think that this was possible because no one had really studied a healthy pineal gland function in the glymphatic system. You might even take one before you go to bed. Wait a minute. Are you saying that if you give your gut what it needs to make dopamine and serotonin, and you start to control your mindset and then allow your circadian rhythm to correct, that more serotonin at night causes a natural production of melatonin and DMT so you can get into deep REM sleep? Maybe you could get rid of jet lag, right, Birgit? Every flight attendant and every pilot should be living on 0 in. You are in absolute control. If you're depressed, pop a pill. I'd probably take 2 or 3. Because all you are is depleted. You don't have any gas in your vehicle. This is the gas, and it's less than $2 a gallon. It's less than $2 a pill. So for $30, you can take your first test drive. And this is what Duquesne was talking about. And Kreider had gone over this with me. Preston had gone over this with me like a couple of years ago. It was like, look, the younger generation and most people don't want to spend $80 to try something. But if you can make it, less expensive, more like the cost of energy drinks, they'll do it. Well, here you go. It took a little bit because we had so many other things to do. Oh, wait, Birgit started taking 3 finally. Here's the thing. Do you know if you have a Ferrari or you have an F1 vehicle and you put a brand new driver, someone that's barely driven a car before, in a high performance car, they're probably going to kill themselves, right? If you're going to teach someone to drive a Formula 1 car or race a Formula 1 car, do they put them in that car from day one? No. They put them on a simulator for a long time and let them kill themselves a few hundred times so they learn how to control it. And then they'll put them in the car, and then they're not doing 200 miles around the track. They're getting a feel for it before they really start to play with the performance. You might start with 1, but then you might try 2, then you might try 3. And if you're in an elite performance environment and you understand the control mechanisms of your intention, and this is something that's really, really important. This comes into understanding your spirituality and understanding your mental capacity, that you are in absolute control, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what goes on around you. You are in absolute control. I feel like I'm speaking to Tina and the beautiful little one she's holding right now because the little ones have to understand this. And she's like, I'm leaving because now he's talking at me. You guys are in absolute control. But you have to understand you have more power in you than you might be comfortable with initially. But it doesn't mean you're not capable. It means you have to get comfortable with being a better version of yourself and getting out of your own way. Because if you have more power, you have more productivity. It's going to feel uncomfortable. I remember when I got my first Tesla, and it wasn't because they're economical or they're good for the environment, just so everyone knows. Hashtag they're not. But when I was to hit the gas, or not the gas, the accelerator, because there's no gas, it's all electronic. Almost like we're electronic. Oh. And I was able to go from 0 to actually 85 miles an hour in about 2.5 seconds. Do you know how fun that is? That's why you drive a Tesla, because you get an understanding of what we can do. And then we got a car that went from 0 to 60 in about 1.9 seconds. And you feel the torque and you feel the explosion of capability. That's what you are. You have the ability to function that fast, to fire that fast, to accelerate that fast, to have that level of control. So you have to do a couple things. One, you have to accept it. That you are this amazing biological machine that is capable of doing things that you're probably uncomfortable with. Because as Duquesne was talking about, this isn't just for the Gen Zs or the millennials or the generation losts. Yes, that's what they're calling the youngest ones right now. But all of you, we've all been programmed to believe that we are not the show. And it's funny when you have some of us that realize that we are really, really unique. It's been programmed into us to think that, oh, they're arrogant. Maybe because they've realized that no, they really are special and they're going to start fine tuning that mechanism. And then you find out what your gifts are. This is the journey. This is what you get to talk to people about. Like, look, this isn't about health and wellness. This is about becoming freaking outstanding, right? It's not a sales process to go, do you want to feel like you've never felt before and function like you've never felt? And if you're talking to your friends or if you're talking to people around you, they'll tell you what they want, but they'll also tell you how you need to talk to them. Just like we're having this translated in multiple languages right now. If you understand what language someone is speaking and you translate accordingly, they'll understand what you're saying.
Can
So,
I give an example of what you're saying, Clay?
God, yes, please, I'm rambling.
No, this is amazing, and I think everyone needs to hear it. But when Clayton is talking, when he was talking with my friends in college, when Zero and first came out, what do you think was his pitch to every one of my rugby friends who were trying to win a national championship? We did not. We got close, but we did not. But
Okay.
what was his pitch?
Shit, that was
His
a long
pitch
time ago.
was, what all have you been trying to do to perform at the highest level possible? And he said, here's a zero in. Try it before practice and tell me how you feel.
Are you talking about me?
well, there was you and there was other people. I mean,
Uh,
John was there.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there was other people.
yeah.
But that is how he talked about it. And that's what Clayton is saying is that when you talk with people, they will tell you what is important to them and how to talk with them. In college, all we talked about, honestly, was rugby. So then Clayton talked about zero in a way of how it would help us in rugby. And now Dylan, to players that he coaches, talks about zero in to how it will make them better rugby players instead of doing 5 hour energy or pre-workout or whatever else they've been doing. So
Let me talk about that real quick. Not only them, but the Nashville rugby team all started taking zero in and crush, kind of by my forceful hand. I wanted to make sure they weren't doing some stupid stuff. Our rugby teams would chug 5 hour energies by like the gallon before games, and they would take pre-workout scoops, which has like the synthetic caffeine, which is really bad for your heart. And so, like Duquesne mentioned, I would just have like, hey, here's a couple of pills. Take these. And I'd say, hey, after the game, how do you feel? Do you feel like you have more energy now than your other games? And almost across the board, that was a yes. I want to say national tournament. The national rugby team for the first time ever went to the national tournament this year. And surprisingly enough, it was the first year that we started giving them supplements. I don't know if there's correlation to that, but I think there is.
so that's what Clayton means by talking their language. People will tell you what they want to hear, and 90% of the time, zero in will or some root product will have a connection to it. Um, Go ahead, continue, Clayton. I just thought that was a perfect example because I remember you giving us these talks in college.
God, how long ago was that? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
Well, no, I guess it must have been after college. Must have been when I was teaching. So Dylan was playing for Nashville. I was playing for Louisville.
Well,
But yeah,
No, but it's the
I
same
know.
because we haven't changed our conversation,
No.
right? We guys, do you know why cocaine's illegal in sports? No. Dylan, why is cocaine illegal in sports?
you'll die.
Well, that it'll kill you, but it increases
A heart
dopamine
attack.
so much that you become almost invincible for 20 minutes.
You also get a heart attack.
Yeah, that 20 minutes is going to lead to flatline.
Yeah, it'll kill you. It'll cause you to lose your house and everything else. But here's the thing. And I've explained this to people, and this was published in a sports physiology journal 5 years ago. Dopamine creates champions. Period. There was a study done on elite Olympic athletes and found that the difference between competitive and in podium Olympic athletes and the champion came down to one thing: dopamine. Some people have higher levels of dopamine naturally. Some people are able to use it better than others. I'm probably one of those people that has higher levels of dopamine because I think people use recreational drugs to just feel like I do normally. So that's why my mom said I was a crackhead. Who knew? She was actually being scientifically correct. But here's the thing with this. If you give your engine more gas, you're going to have more productivity. You're going to feel and function better. You're going to feel different. You're going to function different. You're going to get more stuff done and you're going to have fun doing it. You might just clean your bathroom with a toothbrush. How do I know that? Because I've had people tell me they clean their bathroom and their kitchen with a toothbrush and it was fun, right? Because they're functioning so good. They're like, I need to get this task done, this task done, this task done. Then I needed to go this and this and this. And I wanted to go to the gym and I wanted to go work out, which I haven't done forever. And I did that. And then I went home and I made dinner for the family. And they went, hold on, what did I just do? All that is dopamine and serotonin. That's all it is. So as Duquesne was talking about, I'll give you guys my pitch and what I do. So, and we're all in the business of marketing. That means we're in the business of math. And very, very simple math. Because if you take really, really simple math and then you repeat real simple math, it becomes really simple because math compounds. We'll call it addition. Not addition by subtraction, but just addition. So we're just going to take $29. So if somebody buys something for $29,
Can I say something real quick? I know you're doing the math right now. I do want people to know we understand that it's a better deal just to buy the 60 pack. The
it's
math
not.
is that way on purpose. So if you
Wait,
are
wait.
That's the point.
somebody who takes zero in every day, you should buy the 60 pack. This 15 pack is for those who don't have as much funds or who are new and don't want to spend the 60 or the $80 at first. So
You know
I
the
just
difference
put that
between
out
80
there.
and 30? I've talked to people about this. Like, I won't spend 80. People will waste 20 to 30 bucks.
Yeah.
They'll just blow $30. If you want an example, call Kreider. He'll tell you he's like 30. I can blow 3,000 pretty easily.
Yeah.
Right.
People spend $30 without blinking. When it's $84, it's a different conversation. So I do want people to know we are aware of that. But Clayton, continue with your math.
And if you shop for anything, if you buy one of something, you're going to pay more. If you buy it in bulk, you're going to save money. But how do you get people to try that one thing in order to then understand why they would want more of it at a lower price? And maybe they would want to save 10% and have it delivered to them every month. You have to make it comfortable to try it. So here's my approach. Take two, call me in 20 minutes. That's my pitch. Almost every time. Take two, call me in 20. If we're sitting down for a meeting, I'm like, here, take two. Like, what is it? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just take two. If you're with me, you're popping pills. They go, what? I'm like, no, that's kind of cool, right? Party favor. Because, and if you want to, how much is a pack? 30 bucks, $29. There's 15. So what's the math on that? That means the math on two pills is $2 per capsule. And how long does a capsule last based on what we know? About 5 hours. 5 to 6 hours. Did you know if you look at the back of this little thing, let me see if I can do this. And you see right here, it says 12 HBP proprietary blend. I'm going to give myself some kudos on this because this is my creation. Do you know what 12 HBP is? 12-hour brain power. So if you have this and you're talking to your friends, like, what does 12 HBP mean? Well, it means that each capsule will typically last about 5 to 6 hours. And if you take two, that means you've got 12 hours of brain power. Not 5-hour energy, not Red Bull will give you wings. Just fuel the engine so your brain's got what it really needs for an extended period of time.
Well, I was gonna ask Clayton or Dylan, what does an energy drink cost nowadays?
Good. You think I look at that shit? I've never had one.
Well, that's why I asked.
350. 350 on like the smaller ones. If you go higher than that for like the bigger monsters, I think it's like $5.
Yeah. So this is it's a better product, but also if people just worried about the money cost, it is also much more economically affordable for them.
Hold on. I'm not very smart, so I need to understand that. So what you just said is this is less expensive, better performing, healthier, more fun. Here's the last part. Can make you more money than any energy drink? Now let's do some math because I'm not very smart. So $30, 15 pills, and we're going to take my philosophy, and we're only going to take the simple part of this rewards process because any customer or free user can do what I'm talking about. Notice I didn't say ambassador. This is ambassador training, but what is our whole premise on our entire approach to business?
Social sharing.
And create customers. All you have to do is create customers. Your sole purpose is to do one thing. I'm going to explain the entirety of our entire business approach in 2 words, and it is not create greatness. That is our mantra. Our entire business model. This is not a secret. You can go tell your friends. Wait for it. Wait for it. Create customers. And let me break this down for you. If you create customers and those customers learn from what you did of just sharing with your friends and doing dope shit, and maybe you just teach them a simple process. You don't have to talk about systemic detoxification and all these other benefits. You just go, hey, guess what? Take 2, call me in 20. Somebody might even create a website of that right now, and you might want to do that in different languages because this would be a hell of a marketing campaign. Take 2, callmein20.com. I know I don't have it. I guarantee you that's available in so many different languages. Maria's laughing. I would get on right now and actually secure that domain name and use that as an entire marketing slogan and do hashtag take 2, callmein20. That will go viral if we do it right. But let's do some math.
Clayton, you got 4 minutes to do your math because I need the last 5 minutes.
It's perfect. 2 pills, $4, right? 15 pills. That means you can get 7 2-pill samples off of this. So if you go to your friends and say, here, take 2, call me in 20. I'm going to text you a QR code right now so you can get these. Because if you like them, it's like $2 a pill. So that means if you've got 14, 15% of 29 is $4.35. That means every time someone purchases it at 15%, you're going to get this back. You're going to make $4.35 on every purchase of 1 card. So if you have 7 per card, that if you give out 2 pills for your friends, maybe you charge them $5 if they just want to try it. As Dylan said, that's less than an energy drink. You do that 7 times, you're going to get money back, but you're probably going to get 5 to 7 customers out of 1 pack. That means off of that $29 that you are sharing, but if you have your own pack, if you're just selling these, you're going to make $4.50 per customer, 7 customers per box of a card, which means you can produce $28. And guess what? We know with these that you're going to buy it repetitively. So you're going to create a recurring revenue stream. You have an opportunity for just one of these to get 7 customers because you can pass out 2 pills. Now, if you want to become a millionaire, if you get 1,000 customers personally, now this is only on 15%, that's going to make you about $4,400 a month residually. That's almost $50,000 a year, which means that's $1 million income. See how I backdoored into that whole thing? So, and you're like 1,000 people is a lot. No, it's not, because we're all on social media. And all you have to do is start talking about your personal experience and figuring out what your conversation is about functioning and feeling better and what your car is like. Because while we are each unique, we are all alike. So your personal experiences while unique to you, are not unique to everyone. Birgit should be putting her focus just on everybody that flies. Every flight attendant, every pilot should be Birgit's audience. Birgit only needs to talk about what it means to be a flight attendant and jet lag and what it means to be focused and relaxed and calm and going through turbulence and all these different things because dopamine and serotonin are outstanding. Bianca just needs to start continually doing all of the dope stuff she does on social media, popping 2 pills and saying, call me in 20. People go, wait a minute, you're popping pills. What are you doing? This makes dopamine and serotonin. Do you want to feel better? Hey, ladies, do you have depression? Do you have, postpartum depression? Do you want more energy? You want more focus? You want to have a sex drive like you did as a teenager? Here, take 2, call me in 20. Ladies, this stuff was designed to get rid of female sexual dysfunction. The nanobiotechnologist that created this stuff talks about it all the time. This is Justin Timberlake in a little box for the ladies. It's bringing sexy back. I have nothing else. That's 5 minutes, Duquesne.
I know you did it perfectly. Clayton and Dylan will have to probably leave right at the 5 minute mark, so I will stay on a little longer for questions if needed, but then I'll have to head off. But we do have our announcement for some winners that we're going to give some stuff out to. If they are on here, I would love to talk with them. If they're not and you all know them, I would love to set up a call where we can give them their gift. But you all might recall that we had said we were going to give prizes to the cruise people who met the growth requirement rewards. We had canceled that cruise because a lot of our leadership team had said we should do tours instead. So we're doing the Nashville event and the European tour, and we took the money and put it towards that. We're so excited for it. But we still wanted to reward those ambassadors who met the growth kind of requirements that we had set. And so I'm going to name the top ones out of each of the categories. Again, we're going to be reaching out to all of them once our email system is back up. But we're announcing it now. So what we did was those who met the first requirement, that was the lowest level, they are going to get a route pack sent to them for free. And then they are going to get to send a new customer so they could do a giveaway. They could do this as a competition in their community, whatever they want. But they are going to be able to give one free Trinity Plus pack out to a customer of their choice. Again, if I was them, I would recommend doing a giveaway or some other way to get traction. But that is what they're going to get. That is actually more than they would have got for the cruise, value-wise. The second level, we are going to put $2,500 in their root wallet, which would be the price of what one ticket was, essentially. So those are the second level would get that 2,500. The third level would have got a free trip that we normally do, but we didn't have anyone with that third level. So like I said, I'm going to give a couple of these out. I hope somebody is here, but we will see. So for the second level, I have the 3 winners were Stephanie Chalupski, Sven Matushik, which I'm probably messing up.
Tuzak.
And then Dr. Lezenich. Is that Dr. Lezenich? I'm also.
We know she's not here. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but those were the 3. If they are here, raise your hand.
Where's Sven?
That's the
Sven would be the one that's
2,500.
here. I'm not sure if Sven is here.
If you know them, tell them to reach out. We want to record it and take a video of us putting it in their wallet because we know sometimes people say we don't do it. So we're going to record it.
I'm calling Elena. I'm going to clown her for that. That's hilarious.
So we'll set up a call with them. Next level, these are the ones that got the level 1. They will get the root pack and be able to gift a Trinity Plus to a customer of their choice. We have Verena, who is usually on here. I was hoping she would be our go-to on this one.
That'd be funny if Verena's not here today because she would have a question.
You all know Verena's a real person. So, okay, no go on that. We got Kate Barnes.
No kidding. Kate got one too. Let's go.
She like picked up a ton at the start of the year.
Do you know what Kate was doing, just so everyone knows? She's just been posting stuff about what her past issues have been and how good she feels and what it's done to change her life. That's it. She's just talking about her story and maybe how drinking pee is not a good idea.
We got a Richard Wozni or Sovereign Soul. Richard Wozni.
Brad's on here too. Brad's not on here, but Brad won too. Let's go.
Really am striking out with these people.
No, they're just on different things. And here's the important part for everybody to understand in these. A lot of people don't even understand what this entire ecosystem is, and they benefit from it. You guys are here, right? You're taking the time to invest in yourself to understand why you're here, but you're not applying yourself. People less capable and less talented than you are actually doing more because you might be afraid of success. I'm going to do a little counseling really quickly. Let it go. You're not born with a backpack. None of the stuff that you went through in your life before matters. You have the ability to kick ass, take names, and chew bubblegum, and you're more talented than you've ever imagined. So stop limiting yourself. Hashtag my wife is a psychologist.
I got three more. I got a Nina Best. Nina Best.
Maybe she's not the best. Maybe she's
Alex Kloss. Alex Kloss. And then a Rainer Nader. Rainier Nadir.
Say that 3 times fast.
So again, we'll reach out to them. But if you all know them, have them reach out. We'll get a call scheduled. They can talk with us briefly and have their fun prizes given out.
How'd you strike out on all the names?
Don't know, dude. I know 4 or 5 of these people are ones I talk to regularly. I thought they would be here.
I'm going to text Brad right now because he wanted to do a podcast with me.
There was a Rainier Nadir. There was a Alex Kloss. And a Salome Gassaba. I'm butchering all these names, but I'm trying.
Man, I just sitting here with my air horn hoping that somebody was going to join so I could go like this.
No. I was hoping we could like live put $2,500 in someone's wallet. That's what I was going for with this.
Jeez.
So
Nothing
if you all know them, tell them to join next week or reach out to us and we'll film a video with it. But
okay, one more thing before we go.
You
Marty hit it again.
I had it. This was all excited for, man. I wanted people to get on.
DJ Khaled. You killed
we have
me.
that call right now with your announcement.
I know. But here's what I want to tell everybody, and I won't drop her name, but I can see her right now. So in private chat on here, one of our ambassadors was asking a question about people not getting enough copper, right? Or some people are going to talk about not getting enough magnesium, or some people would talk about, I don't know, whatever you want. Guys, one, Ram Augustus is going to take care of this for you here shortly. But here's the other part. All of those questions are already answered. So I was getting the question about, oh, people need copper and they need to take a copper supplement. No, you don't. What do you need? Clean up the communication pathways. Where do you get copper? So the thing is do people need magnesium? Do you need a magnesium supplement? Do you need a copper supplement? Do you need an iron supplement? Do you need a calcium supplement? You need Relive Greens. Because you know that, this creator that created this entire environment put like all of those trace minerals and minerals into like animal and plant sources. We'll just talk specifically about plant sources that have all of those things along with the correct enzymes and cofactors that allow you to use them. And if you use, I don't know, something like this that cleans up all the heavy metals that block the metabolism of all of those things, that you're able to get everything that you need naturally at a fraction of what you would spend with stupidity. I digress.
I was about to say that the product everyone sings praises of, Clean Slate, fixes half the problems by just detoxifying your body.
What?
Which
And
even
adds the
I know.
freaking trace minerals. And it has the trace minerals in it. Good God, people. And if you want to understand how all that works, take 2, call me in 20. Konnichiwa.
Bye, all.